Hello and warm regards from NEXT IAS team. First of all, happy Ganesh Chaturthi to everyone. Now, today is 27th August and the topics that we are going to discuss include: the first topic is a comprehensive modular survey done by NSO in the context of education. The second topic is about the cotton imports. The duty has been waived off. We are going to see the reasons and the impact of that. The third topic is about the power sector reforms, the things that are going in power sector and the reforms that are required there. The fourth topic is about the Gaganyaan Mission, what have been the recent development in it. And lastly, in the analysis part, in the recorded part, we are going to discuss about the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana and its impact on the inclusive development. So let's start with the first topic. The first topic that we have today is the Comprehensive Modular Survey. The backdrop here is that the CMS Education Survey is a part of the 80th round of National Sample Survey. And the relevance here is it is the issues related to development and management of social sector services related to health, education and human resource. And it can be included under GS1, GS2 as well as GS3. So this data can be included in any of the papers according to the question. So let's see what is the news here. The news is about the CMS Education Survey focuses on the household expenditure for currently enrolled school students in the country. So basically this survey is focusing upon how much expenditure is done by a household on the education of their children, especially with respect to schools. Now other things which are related to this news are that the computer assisted personal interviews data will be collected from 52,085 households and 57,742 students across the country. The survey provides a national level estimate of the average expenditure on the school education and the private coaching while also presenting state level figure. So basically the objective of this particular survey is that to find out how much we are spending upon education, which is a prerogative of the government. How much we are spending from our pockets on the education of our children, which should have been done by the government itself. So it somehow reflects the condition of the government schools, the trust of the people on the government schools and why they are enrolling in the private institutions as well as going for coachings and private tuitions. So let's see the data here. The first of all, the enrollment pattern we are going to see. So how the students are being enrolled. So there are basically two types of schools. One are government schools and one are private unaided schools. Other schools include government aided schools or there can be private aided schools as well. In the government schools, the enrollment is actually dominating. 55.9 total out of total 100%, 55.9% students are enrolled in the government schools itself. So basically more enrollment is seen in the government schools. Whereas in the private unaided schools, 31.9% enrollment is being seen. In the rural areas, the students enrolled in the government school include 66%. While 30.1% are included in the urban areas who are enrolled in the government schools. Next is the course fee, how the course fee is being paid. So we see from the government perspective, the government schools perspective, 26.7% of the students pay fee. And in that, 25.3% come from the rural areas and negligible amount comes from the urban areas. So basically in the rural areas, students going to the schools are actually paying fees in the government schools. Whereas in the urban areas, the fees paid by the students in the government school is actually negligible. Second is non-government schools. In the non-government schools, the fees paid is very, very high. 95.7% of the students who are enrolled in the private schools are actually paying fees. So that is where basically the more expenditure on education by household is being going. So there is out of pocket expenditure on the education by the households in the private school itself. Then next is average expenditure by a student. The average per student expenditure made by households during the current academic year. In the government schools it is 2,863, whereas in non-government schools it is 25,002 rupees. So basically it is almost 9 times that of the government schools. So those students who are going in the private schools are paying 9 times the fee that is being paid in the government schools. And the fees is very, very high. It is 25,000 rupees. The next is major expense course fee. So average expenditure on course fee in urban areas is estimated as 15,143 rupees, whereas it is estimated at rupees 3,979 in the rural areas. Next is funding source for the school education. What is the funding source? The main source is family or household. 95% of the funding is done by the family or the household, and it is uniform across rural and urban areas. So basically, the private schools are having a fee which is equivalent in the urban area as well as in the rural areas. The government scholarship is only provided to 1.2% of the schools, to 1.2% of the students. The next is the private coaching. So what about it? Nearly a one-third of all the students, that is 27%, are taking private coaching or tuitions in an academic year. So one-third of our students are going for private coaching or to the private tuitions who are school going. Next, these trends become more common in the urban areas than in the rural area. So in urban areas, the students are more willing to go to for the coaching than in the rural areas. Although it is not, the difference is not very much, it is almost comparable. The average annual household expenditure on private coaching is 3,988 rupees, and this is basically for the school going students. The next is the National Sample Survey. Who conducts it? The National Sample Survey is conducted by the National Sample Survey Organization under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. It was first started in 1950 and guided by Professor P.C. Mahalanobis. Its aim is to generate dependable socio-economic statistics for policy decisions, development programs, and research. So whatever policies that we are making, whatever programs that we are running for social development, those programs are based upon the data that is provided by this National Sample Survey. And this National Sample Survey is conducted by NSSO under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. The area coverage is both urban and rural areas are covered, and we have the scientific sampling method that are being employed here. Then areas covered, the areas that it is covering is household consumption, how much expenditure the households are making, घरों से कितना खर्चा किया जा रहा है. Then employment data is also collected by them, education data is also collected by them, health data is also collected by them, migration, informal sector, crop statistics, price trends. All these kind of data are covered under the National Sample Survey. Now something about this Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. It is basically having two branches. One is Statistics Wing that is covered under NSO. Second is the Program Implementation Wing. This NSO is having three bodies. One is Central Statistics Office, second is NSO, National Sample Survey Office, and third one is Data Informatics and Innovative Division. The second is the Program Implementation Wing. It includes 20-point Program Division. Then second is Infrastructure Monitoring and Project Monitoring Division. Third one is Member of Parliament Local Area Development Scheme, MPLATS Division. Then there are two other bodies there. One is National Statistics Commission. It was created through resolution of the Government of India, and it functions as an apex advisory body for the statistics matters. So basically this commission provides advice to the ministry. Last one is Indian Statistics Institution. It is an autonomous body and has been regarded as an institute of national importance through a Parliament Act. So this is the basic organizational structure of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Now based upon the discussion, you have to attempt this MCQ and you have to post your answers in the comment box. And let's move to the second topic. The second topic that we are having is the cotton imports. Now what is the backdrop here? The backdrop is that the recent withdrawal of cotton import duty, and this topic becomes relevant from GS paper 3 in the economy section. Now what we have to study here? We have to study why was this cotton duty imposed, first of all, why it is now being withdrawn, what will be the impact of withdrawing this duty, are there any protest by any farmers or any other organizations, or are there concerns that have been raised regarding this move of the government. So let's see the topic in detail. The first one is, what about the news? The news is that the cotton grown by nearly 6 million Indian farmers. So it is giving you data that almost 60 lakh people or 60 lakh farmers are involved in cotton production. Is the key raw material for the textile industry. We know this thing, and whatever will be the price of these cotton bales will decide the price of the textiles, and those prices are going to decide our competitiveness in the international market. सो जिस भी रेट पे हमें रॉ मटेरियल मिलेगा उसी रेट पे टेक्सटाइल्स का रेट भी उसके अकॉर्डिंग डिसाइड होगा, उसके रेट उसी के अकॉर्डिंगली डिसाइड होगा कि हम कितने प्राइस कॉम्पिटिटिव हैं इंटरनेशनल मार्केट्स के अंदर. नाउ इट हैज बीन this industry has seen declining domestic production. So there has been a decline in the production of the cotton in the country. In response, the government has withdrawn the 11% import duty introduced in February 2021. So in February 2021, we introduced an 11% import duty. Now it is being withdrawn. Why? Because our production has fallen down and we are not able to cater to the demand created by the textile industry in the country. Now, it will be effective from September 30th, not of much use for us. The end of the current cotton season, despite imports having surged last year, even when the duty was in place. Now, let's see why was duty imposed. The duty was imposed in the 2021 budget. Why? Because we had a production of 350 lakh bales and our demand was or requirement was only 335 lakh bales. So, in the context of imports, the domestic price for the cotton bales would have fallen. That would have directly affected the farmers. In that context, the import duty was imposed. Now, the country was exporting cotton. There were imports too, and the duty was aimed at protecting the interest of the cotton growers. Now, temporary exemption. The duty was waived from April 14 to September 30 in 2022. Later on, it was extended to October 31st, 2022 to address the raw material store shortage for the textile industry. So why this shortage is coming out? This shortage might be coming out because we are also exporting cotton, and that as we are exporting cotton, that's why we have to import cotton as well. Now cotton imports surged to 107.4% from 579.2 million in financial year 2023-24 to 1.2 billion in financial year 2024-25. That simply means that almost the demand or the cotton imports have doubled. Due to high demand for the cotton in the country, the imports have doubled in one single year. From 2023-2024 to 2024-2025, we have actually doubled our cotton imports. That's why this duty is being waived off, because we need more cotton to produce the textiles. When we are producing textiles, we will be able to export it as well. So to achieve the price competitiveness of our exports, we need to narrow down the cost of the raw materials. Now, what is the current situation? The domestic production has fallen to 294 lakh bales, and our demand was 335 earlier. Now the demand is 318 lakh bales. So now there is a shortage of the supply in terms of the cotton bales. The 2024-2025 cotton season production was about 20 lakh bales lower than the previous season. And one word that we are using again and again is cotton bales. What is a cotton bale? The cotton bale is actually compressed and tied up cotton, and the weight of each bale is 160 to 170 kgs. So one bundle of cotton actually amounts to 160 to 170 kgs, and that is known as a cotton bale. Now we are importing from Australia, USA, Brazil and Egypt. Then Cotton Corporation of India has brought nearly 100 lakh bales at MSP, spending 37,500 crores and sold 73 lakh bales. For the year 25-26 season, the MSP is also increased by 8% for the cotton. The market rivals, farmers in the north, are expected to start bringing cotton to the market in October, and those in central and western states are likely to start supply after Deepavali. So in this context, there is going to be a period where there will be shortfall of the cotton supply. To fill that short supply, we are now waiving off the import duty so that the imports can be increased in the country. Now, what does the withdrawal or import duty imply? It implies that the benefit for the garment exporters. Why? Because the cost of the raw material is now declining. If the cost is declining, that simply means that our export price competitiveness is going to increase. I am again using a word, price competitiveness. Price competitiveness simply means कि आप कितने कम प्राइस पे कितनी better quality दे पा रहे हो. That is known as price competitiveness. If the price of an item is less as compared to another brand, then you are going to buy whose price is less. So that is known as price competitiveness. जिसका कम price होगा उसी को आप buy करते हो, that is known as price competitiveness. Now, what are the farmers' concerns? The farmers' concerns is that this may discourage cotton cultivation in the country. Secondly, it does not provide support for farmers lacking government assistance. Then, what is the long-term solution here? First of all, we need a stable policy, a consistent government policy for the raw material procurement planning. That is very much required. Consistency in policy is the requirement of the day. Every business demands this thing, that there should be a policy stability in whatever we are framing, so that they can also plan for the future. Second, duty suspension. Annual suspension of import duty during non-peak season after farmers have sold most of their produce. Then financial support. 5% interest subvention on working capital for mills to purchase cotton during the peak season. Then with adequate funds, mills, especially MSMEs, can secure the required cotton, reducing the need for government MSP purchase. So instead of providing MSP, we can provide a subsidy to the mills so that they can easily buy the cotton. Then if we see the cotton, what are the geographical conditions that are required where it is grown in India? Let's see that also. First of all, the temperature requirement. It requires 15 degrees Celsius at the time of germination, whereas at the time of growth, it requires a temperature of 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. Secondly, the most important thing that is asked in the questions also, in the prelims also, 210 frost-free days it requires. Warm days and cool nights with large diurnal variation will improve the ball and the fiber quality. So that is a very important requirement, and that is being asked by the UPSC as well. Rainfall, it requires a moderate rainfall of 50 to 100 centimeters. The soil should be well drained, alluvial soil is suitable for it. Then we have the black clay soil that is very suitable for it. This is the area of the black clay soil. Then we have the mixed red and black soil that are also suitable for cotton production. Then the cropping season is April to May in the northern India and delayed in southern regions due to the monsoon based cultivation. Now the areas includes the lower part of Punjab, the northern part of Rajasthan and the western part of Haryana. In the southern part, the southern Rajasthan, the Gujarat is there. Then we have the western Madhya Pradesh, central Maharashtra, northern Karnataka, the northern part of the Andhra Pradesh, or we can say the middle part of the Andhra Pradesh, and the Tamil Nadu region towards the Nilgiris. So these are the regions which are suitable for cotton production in the country. Now, lastly, the initiatives that are being taken by the government for this cotton sector. The first one is that the minimum support price that it provides. The cotton is procured by the government through CCI or Cotton Corporation of India at MSP. So we have MSP for cotton also, and it is being procured by CCI. Then Kasturi Cotton India was launched to promote self-reliance and local branding. Third is Cotton Ally mobile app. It provides farmers with the information on MSP, procurement centers, best practices and regional languages. So this Cotton Ally mobile app, then Kasturi Cotton India and minimum support price. Then next is the high density planting system. This high density planting system, along with modern greening and pressing factories, scientific quality assessment and extension services, are also some initiatives that are being taken by the government. Lastly, the textile advisory group is there, which is going to coordinate with the stakeholders in the terms of cotton value chain on productivity, pricing and branding. So these are the basic initiatives that the government is taking with respect to cotton in the country, cotton and textile sector in the country. Now, based upon the discussion that we have, answer this question and put your answers in the comment box. And let's move to the third topic now. The third topic that we are having is the power sector reforms. The backdrop is there that need for reforms in the power sector, and this topic becomes relevant from GS paper 3 in the economy part. Now, what is about the news? The Indian economic growth faces uncertainty, slowed by weak private investment, consumption and manufacturing exports, with short-term global shocks further affecting the prospects. So basically, Indian economy is facing multiple challenges. Now, we need to address the supply side problems that we are having. So we need to focus upon the supply side part, the supply side reforms, so that we can decrease the cost of production. And in that, a reliable and efficient electricity sector is very important, because without power, the industry cannot run. So the reforms in power sectors are very eminent if we need to solve the supply side problems that our industry is facing. And we are seeing these things. For example, there is uncertainty, there is weak private investment, the cost of production is very high. So we need to focus on other supply side reforms also. But here we are going to stick with the power sector reform only. Now, next thing is what has been the journey of the Indian power sector. What is the status right now? So if we see the status here, the total installed capacity has reached to 476 gigawatts in June 2025. So this is the last year's data. The thermal power is still dominating with 240 gigawatts, that is 50.5%. In the coming future, the renewable energy is going to take over the thermal energy. The renewable and nuclear energies that are non-fossil, so that are coming out of non-fossil sources, they contribute 235.7 gigawatts, that is 49%, including 226.9 gigawatts renewable and 8.8 gigawatts by nuclear energy. This data will be very, very helpful for you. Next is the power shortages. The power shortages in the country have actually reduced in the last 10 years. It was 4.2% in 2013 and it has now reduced to 0.1% in 2024-25. Next is the electrification and consumption. Over 2.8 crore households have been electrified. Per capita electricity consumption has risen 45.8%. It was previously 954 kilowatts hour. Now it has increased to 1395 kilowatt hour. So basically, we are seeing that our power situation has actually improved. We have increased the number of households who are under electrification. We have decreased the power shortages issues, and this is also seen that the availability of the power for the household has increased and their consumption has also increased. Next thing is, what are the various sectors in which the power is being produced? For example, in the solar energy, 110.9 gigawatts of installed capacity we have, and it is 39 times that of in the 2014. In last year itself, we have added almost 24 gigawatts of solar energy to our total energy scenario. Then wind energy, it is 51.3 gigawatts. Hydropower, it is 48 gigawatts. Biopower is 11.6 gigawatts. Compressed biogas, 150 projects have been installed till now. Then electricity generation, if we see, wind 78.21 BU, it is 4.69% of the total electricity. The next is the challenges that we are facing, especially with respect to the industry. The first challenge is the high electricity cost. The industries or the manufacturing units are paying actually double the cost of the electricity that it should be. So the electricity prices imposes 100% tax on the manufacturing. Indian firms pay nearly double the efficient cost of electricity. And the basic reason for that is that there are inefficiencies in the power distribution sector. Secondly, the policy of cross subsidization. What is cross subsidization? Cross subsidization here means that the households are getting electricity at a subsidized rate, and the manufacturing firms are being heavily taxed, or the revenue, the pricing for the pricing for the electricity for the manufacturing units is very, very high. So whatever earning is coming from these manufacturing units is being used for subsidizing the household electricity. So this is again a problem, that there is cross subsidization. To fulfill the deficiency due to the subsidy that is being provided to the household electricity, the extra money is charged upon the manufacturing units, which is increasing their production cost and which is affecting their efficiency. Then what is the impact here? The disproportionate impact on small and medium enterprises. Large firms can still negotiate on better rates. The service sector of the future, and not just the current manufacturing unit, will also be the victim. So it is not only the manufacturing part, service is also going to be affected. Secondly, the bigger firms can still afford electricity at a higher price and they can also negotiate with it. But the small and medium enterprises, they are the worst sufferers here, because they are facing the blunt of cross subsidization. They are facing the blunt of the inefficiencies of the distribution companies, and that's why they are paying more cost for the electricity than it should be. Next is household subsidies also rising. We see electricity subsidies to agriculture and domestic consumers account for 1.2 to 1.3% of the total GDP. That is very, very high. Then on this, household receives almost as much subsidy as agriculture, rising from 29% to near parity in 2024-25. Now, first of all, agriculture was getting more subsidy. Now, agriculture and household both are getting almost equal subsidy. The cause is competitive populism in the electricity pricing has led to household becoming big beneficiaries of those subsidies. Then subsidies favor the rich only. Approximately 70 to 85% of electricity subsidy benefit middle and high income households because they have more equipments to use that electricity. They will be having AC, they will be having fridges and other equipments which utilize electricity. Whereas poor households are not having that much equipments. So basically the benefit of this subsidy is going to the middle and higher income households rather than to the low income households. Then impact, the free power to poor is not the main issue. The problem is undeserving beneficiaries creating inefficiencies. So we need to sort out who are not deserving for the electricity subsidy, and we need to come out of this populist measures of providing free electricity to all. The free electricity can be provided to the poorer sections, not to all. Those who can pay, they should be charged with the fare. These subsidies create inefficiencies that are then compensated by taxes, which lead to further inefficiencies. And whenever you are providing anything free, the value of it goes down. And when the value of it goes down, it is getting wasted. For example, there was a time when even a single bulb is being on, it was put off by the parents. Now the time has come, then even the air conditioner is running, no one is bothered about it. Why? Because electricity cost is not affecting them. It is being subsidized. So the worst problem with the subsidy is that there is wastage of electricity also. There is wastage of power also. And that is the power which is going to run the country. So we need to subsidize, we need to rationalize these subsidies. We need to create awareness that the electricity should not be wasted. Now let's move to the remedy part. First of all, simplify the tariff. Implement radically simple electricity pricing based on technical cost, not on policy or political consideration. If the cost is high, that has to be paid. If the cost is low, that has to be given to the users. Then eliminate cost cross subsidies. Users, except the poorest, should pay the efficient cost of supply, removing the hidden tax on the industry. Then focus on tariff and cost. Central government packages should separately address tariff and distribution cost rather than overall profitability. Then facilitate orderly exit. Encourage inefficient state-owned discoms to exit, creating pressure for reform and improving sector efficiency. Then burden sharing. Center and state government should share transition costs to support reforms without destabilizing the finances. Then introduce competition. Similar to telecom reforms, introduce competition in electricity distribution to break public sector monopolies and enhance more efficiency. Lastly, empower regulatory oversight. Strengthen independent regulation to ensure accountability and discourage political interference. Now with this, attempt this MCQ and post your answers in the comment box. Let's see who's getting all the answers right. The fourth topic that we are having is about Gaganyaan. What is the backdrop here? The backdrop is that the Indian Space Research Organization successfully conducted its first integrated air drop test, or IADT-1. Now this topic is relevant from GS paper 3 in the science and technology part. What is the news here? The news is that the ISRO has conducted its first integrated air drop test, which is the vital step in preparing India's maiden human spacecraft mission that is known as Gaganyaan. So what is Gaganyaan? Gaganyaan is the India's human spacecraft mission. We are going to send the humans in the space, and we are going to develop the capabilities of sending the humans into the space. And further, we are going to go for the moon and also to the Mars. So this will be the precursor for us to go for the deep space research. Now, a nearly 5-ton dummy crew capsule. What is a crew capsule? The crew capsule is the capsule in which the humans or the astronauts would be sitting in. So a dummy one in which there is no human. It was released from a helicopter, and its weight was almost 4.8 tons. That is almost 5 tons, to test whether the parachute system could slow it down safely for the splashdown. What is splashdown? When the capsule is coming down to the earth, and basically these capsules are being brought to the ocean so that the impact can be decreased. So the objective here was to first of all drop a capsule from a great height. The height here taken was 3 kilometers, and Chinook helicopter was used here to drop it and see whether the parachutes can slow down the pace of this capsule or not, and it has been successful. Let's see what is this integrated air drop test. The name itself suggests it. The integrated air drop test is designed to evaluate the parachute based deceleration system that ensures crew modules safe landing after re-entry. The test design was 3 km altitude was taken. That means from 3 kilometers we have dropped the capsule, and there was a sequential deployment of the parachute. First of all, a smaller parachute or small drag chutes were employed. After that, the 3 large 25-meter main chutes were employed. The aim was to reduce the speed to 8 meters per second before the splashdown. Now, the vehicle used was the Indian Air Force Chinook helicopter was used to do this experiment, and the agencies involved were ISRO, Indian Air Force, DRDO, and Indian Navy and Coast Guard. From the ISRO side, VSSC was handling the 90% of the activities here. The next we come to is what is the significance of this IADT in the Gaganyaan mission. The Gaganyaan mission aims to send Indian astronauts into low Earth orbit, that is 400 kilometers, on a human-rated LMV-3 rocket. This LMV-3 rocket is the largest rocket that India is having. Now we are planning that in the Gaganyaan mission we are going to send 3 astronauts up to a height of 400 meters, that is low Earth orbit, and we are going to demonstrate that India is capable to send humans or living beings to the space and bring them back safely. However, this requires multiple validation tests before human flights are cleared. This IADT is one of those validation tests. Next is the Gaganyaan mission. Let's see about that also, because the main question is going to come upon this mission itself. This is the India's first human spacecraft mission by ISRO. 3 astronauts will be sent into the low Earth orbit at 400 kilometers for 3 days, and they have to be returned safely to the country or to the Earth. Human Space Flight Center, Bengaluru, is the lead center here, and it is a part of India's roadmap towards developing a space station and also crewed lunar missions, and later on we may also plan for Mars. The objectives here of this mission are to demonstrate human space flight capability, then develop life support, crew escape, and safe re-entry systems, promote indigenous technology and industry partnerships, and lay foundation for the Indian space station and lunar landing by 2040. Next is the mission structure. The launch vehicle will be HLVM-3 or human-rated LMV-3. LMV-3 is the largest rocket that India is having. We have discussed in the last discussion of ours about the LMV and the new rocket that we are developing. The modified LMV GSLV Mark III is a human-rated LMV, and it is a 3-stage rocket with solid, liquid, and cryogenic stages. It is equipped with crew escape system for emergency evacuation. Then there are 2 modules. One is an orbital module. The orbital module includes 2 modules. So one is crew module and another one is service module. The crew module is habitable double-walled capsule. Life support, avionic interfaces, parachute, re-entry systems are provided in this crew module. The second one is a service module. It provides for power, propulsion, thermal control, and avionics. So basically it is divided into 2 parts. One is the system, second is the where the humans are going to reside. The next is the key technologies that have been developed by ISRO under this Gaganyaan mission. The life support system, oxygen, temperature, waste, fire safety, everything have to be taken care of. Then human rating of the system, redundancy, fault detection, reliability. Thermal protection system for safe re-entry, because whenever any object re-enters the Earth's atmosphere, there is a lot of resistance from the air and it can burn it. The meteorites that we see, the shooting stars that we call, are due to this air resistance. So whenever such kind of capsule is going to enter the Earth atmosphere, we have to ensure that there is enough thermal protection system so that it does not burn off. Then integrated vehicle health management system for autonomous fault detection, and indigenized composite and escape motors are also provided here. Then what will be the sequence of the mission? There is going to be 4 stages. First of all, the precursor test. One is a pad abort test. Pad abort test means at the launch pad itself, if we find there is any difficulty, then we are going to rescue the astronauts from there itself. That will be demonstrated through the pad abort test. Second is the integrated airdrop test that has been tested right now. It means whenever the capsule is re-entering in the earth, then what challenges it is going to face and how we are going to control its downward fall, how we are going to slow it down. Then dog and main parachute deployment test that is already conducted under it. Then we have the test vehicle flights TVD series. There are basically two test vehicle flights, and after that there will be third and fourth also. TVD1 has already been conducted successfully. TVD2 is about complex abort scenario, and it is being planned and it will be conducted this year itself. Then unmanned Gaganyaan flights are going to be done, which will be G1 in 2026, uncrewed orbital flights carrying humanoid Vayomitra. This Vayomitra is very important. There is a humanoid, that is a robot, and that robot will be sent in this G1. Then G2 will be there. This is a second uncrewed test for system validation. After all these stages, we are going to move forward towards the Gaganyaan 3 or H1, which will be done in 2027, in which the 3 astronauts will be taken to the 400-kilometer orbit, that is low Earth orbit, and they are going to stay for 3 days, and after that they are going to return back. There will be a safe splashdown in the Indian waters with Navy recovery support. Now, next is the India's long-term spacecraft goal. What is India planning to do in the long term? So, India is actually, the Gaganyaan, this actually is going to be the foundation for various missions. For example, the Bharatiya Antariksha Station that we are planning by 2035, then Indian space crewed lunar landing by 2040, extended orbital missions and deep space technologies, then in-orbit docking capabilities demonstrated under space decks as crucial for Chandrayaan 4, Gaganyaan and BAS mission. This space decks actually demonstrated the autonomous spacecraft rendezvous and docking technology in 2025. And this is a critical technology now that has been now acquired by India. It basically means in the space itself, there is one object that is rotating around the Earth, orbiting around the Earth, and another object is taken there and it is docked. It is clubbed, and this is done at a very high speed. A minute error can actually lead to damage of both the components. Now, India has made itself capable through this SpaceDex mission. Through the SpaceDex mission, India has demonstrated that it can actually go for the docking capabilities at a very high speed in the space. Now, next is you have to attempt this MCQ and you have to post your answers in the comment box. And let's move to the decoded part now. Now, it's time for decoding. The topic that we are having today is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. And this is relevant from the inclusive development. Basically, here we are talking about the financial inclusion. So, in this topic, we are going to see what is financial inclusion, how the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana has played its role in the financial inclusion in the country, and what has been the lagging points and what else we need to do to improve those things. So, this topic is in the backdrop of the assessment of the PMJDY. So, basically, we are analyzing the scheme, how it has been impactful, what it has done, and what else should have been done. Next, it is relevant from the GS paper 3 in the economy paper. So, let's see what is about news. First of all, what is financial inclusion? The financial inclusion aims to empower citizens, promote economic growth, reduce poverty, and to achieve social equality. In India, there is a government-backed scheme that is known as Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana that was launched in 2014, because it was very much required in the country that government should intervene to ensure there is financial inclusion in the country. Many of the people in the country, many of the citizens of the country were not having even bank accounts. PMJDY Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana has actually ensured the banking to them. It has brought banks to their footsteps. It has brought banks to their doors. So that's how it has allowed them to make savings in the bank, to be aware about the financial products that are available. They can also take loans under this particular scheme, and in the times of distress, they are now having a helping hand in the terms of financial aid. Now, what is financial inclusion? The financial inclusion means ensuring access to affordable financial services such as saving, credit, insurance, pension, payment system for all individuals and businesses, especially weaker sections and the low income groups. It can be divided into three basic parts. One is access to the financial services, second is affordability of the financial services, and third one is the awareness about the financial services. So all three club together to make financial inclusion. One should be having access to the financial services. For example, in the rural areas or in the far-flung areas, the accessibility to the banks or the financial institutions is very, very difficult. It has been covered by the digital part. For example, Bheem we are having now, there can be digital accounts. The accounts can be opened directly through the mobile apps itself. So we have ensured access under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana and other initiatives. Second is affordability. The amount that is being kept in the banks, that should be affordable. It should not be having any extra charges. The loan that a person is taking, it should not be very, very high. It should be having a very nominal charges. Then only the affordability can be ensured. This provision is also being given in the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Third one is the awareness part. People should be aware how to use the bank accounts, how to use the financial products that are being provided, how to use the pension, how to use the payment system, so that they are getting maximum benefit out of it. So all these three make the financial inclusion in a complete sense: the access, affordability, and the awareness about financial services. Next thing is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is a national mission for financial inclusion to ensure access to financial services, namely basic saving deposit accounts, remittances, credit, insurance, and pension in an affordable manner. Under the scheme, a basic saving bank deposit account can be opened in any bank, branch, or business correspondent outlet by persons not having any other account. Then the benefits under PMJDY. First of all, saving account will be opened, and that will be opened for the unbanked individuals. So those individuals who are not having any kind of bank account, their bank accounts will be opened on a mandatory basis. Second thing, they do not need to maintain any balance. So there is no minimum balance. Third is interest. The deposits in PMJDY will also going to earn interest, so that there is an incentive for the people to save in the banks. Second is RuPay debit card will be provided to them so that they can access their funds from anywhere, anytime through the ATMs. Then accident insurance is also provided here. It will cover 1 lakh rupees, and it has been now enhanced to 2 lakh rupees in the case of accidents. Then overdraft facility is also being provided. It was earlier 5,000 rupees. Now it has been increased to 10,000 rupees. Overdraft means that you can take, you're not having amount in your account, but you can take 10,000 out of the bank and you can repay later if there is any emergency with respect to financial requirements. Then scheme which are linked with the PMJDY, they include DBT, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, Atal Pension Yojana, Mudra scheme, and many other schemes have been integrated with the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. The next is the PMJDY and the inclusive development, how it has helped in making our development inclusive through financial inclusion. First of all, universal banking access has been now provided. From 59% households and 35 adults pre-PMJDY to almost 100% households and 90% adults having bank accounts today. Second, gender inclusion. Women hold 56% of the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan accounts, promoting financial empowerment for the women. So it is also helping in gender inclusion. Then rural and remote coverage. 37.5 crore accounts in the rural and semi-urban areas. 16.2 lakh bank mitras provide service in the remote location. So we are catering to the rural areas as well as to the remote areas. Then financial security and social protection is also there. It will facilitate DBT, subsidies, PMJJBY, PMSBY, microinsurance, and other investment products. Then digital financial inclusion. Issued over 38.7 crore RuPay cards, boosted UPI digital transactions and corresponding innovations like AI, NLP based voice transactions. Then expanding banking network. 99.9% of inhabited villages have banking access within 5 km, improving access for unorganized sector workers. Then crisis response. It enabled rapid financial support during demonetization and the COVID-19 pandemic. Then investment and e-commerce facilitation. Rising account balances support investment and e-commerce in Tier 4 and Tier 5 centers. Then ongoing initiatives focus on KYC updates, opening new accounts, promoting micro insurance pension schemes, and reducing inactive accounts. So that is also being done. Now, what are the challenges that we are facing? Inactive accounts are there. Approximately 23% accounts are still not active. They have been just opened and they are lying vacant. There is no money in them. Second is duplicate accounts have also been created. Multiple accounts per individual create data management issues, and it is also putting burden on the banks. Then technical and operational issues are there. Problems like unmapped Aadhaar, incompatible KYC, delays, transaction is there. For example, PM Kisan Transfer are facing these kind of issues. Then cyber security risk, because more or less the citizens of country are not very well educated, and new kind of threats like cyber security are coming up. The risk of mule accounts in states like Kerala have exposed the use of the fraud. Then low financial literacy is there. Many beneficiaries are unaware about PMJDY features like overdraft and insurance, and they are not still able to utilize it fully. Over indebtedness issue. Credit facilities can lead to debt among financially inexperienced rural users. They may take a loan which they don't require and which they are now not able to pay. Then data management challenges. Multiple accounts complicate tracking of actual beneficiaries. So where does the solution lie? The solution lies in the awareness. The solution lies in the proper data management. The solution lies in mapping the bank accounts with the Aadhaar so that the dual accounts or multiple accounts can be tackled. And lastly, taking enough cyber security risk measures so that we can actually protect our citizens from these cyber security frauds. In the concluding remarks, the PMJDY is a testament to inclusive development and global model for financial inclusion. To sustain its impact, it's essential to enhance financial literacy, improve KYC, data management, strengthen cyber security, promote active account use, and expand banking access, ensuring empowerment and financial security to all. With this, you can attempt this mains question and you can bring that question to us also. And we conclude for the day. Thank you very much.